Apple just released their new M4 MacBooks and Mac lineup. And in this video, I've got 10 accessories that'll help maximize your experience from work to home and just on the go. Stay to the end because there may just be one accessory that may end up being quite essential to your setup. This video is sponsored by Ivanki, but more on them later. Let's begin with our computer essentials, beginning with our external monitor. Now, of course, when we're on the go, the laptop is the perfect form factor. But when you're at home and you want to maximize your productivity, one of the best ways that I like to achieve that is with an ultra wide screen. Connecting to HDMI, I use my LG 34-inch LED curved display. This is priced at $399 US, but you can catch it in certain places for $50 off. If you look closely at my setup, this monitor is not on its traditional stand. Instead, I decided to mount it to a vertical mount, hovering right over my desk. So for item number 2, I recommend a desk mount for your monitor. Yes, you can use an articulating screen to move it back and forth, left to right, but I just like to have this single monitor one and it just hovers right above the desk. The particular one that I have is for dual monitor display, but I decided to just have one monitor as it was hurting my neck looking up and down as it was. A monitor setup like this starts at $29.99. Now, before you go off buying a keyboard and assigning your password to your account, as nice as a monitor may be, perhaps you don't want to keep working off of the keyboard that you already have. Now, if you really want to go ahead and make the most of your desk space, I recommend these next 2 items. The first one being a keyboard. The one that I'm using is the Apple Magic Keyboard, the black version with the keypad. But not only just the keypad, but it also has the Touch ID. This is perfect for when I'm installing and uninstalling certain things on my MacBook, and all I have to do is just one press of a button or rest my finger on there and everything's approved and moving along. Now you can get a regular Magic Keyboard for $149 US without the keypad, but it's $199 US with it. Now, as an alternative, you can get different Logitech keyboards that allow for not only just Mac keyboards or Mac computers, but also for Windows as well if you have multiple systems. Of all the Apple products that I gotta recommend alongside this keyboard, it's gotta be the Magic Trackpad. The trackpad is just magical in the MacBook, but when you want to keep your space and really maximize your desk, the trackpad external from that MacBook is just going to be perfect, and this starts at $149 US. Now, of course, the trackpad is not the only best feature that the MacBook has to offer, because they also have great speakers. But how can we build on that when it comes to a desk setup at home? Well, I use this particular setup, this Sanyun SW208, and these are active Bluetooth speakers. This allows for controls on the side with treble and bass, and of course your on and off volumes, and they're just perfect for the price, for $69.99 US. And if you'd rather have a sound bar instead of these 2 separate speakers, you can go ahead and get something like the Bose SoundLink Flex for $150 US. This soundbar is Bluetooth, so you won't have to worry about any cables except for when you need to charge it every now and then. The battery life has been excellent, and just the sound overall has been great as well, especially from Bose with its bass. Gotta love it. Now, I just want to take this moment to thank our sponsor, Ivanki. They sent out their Fusion Dock Pro 1 Plus, and this thing's got triple 4K display at 60 Hz, and overall it's got 14 ports for us to use, charging our laptop at 100 watts, as well as our iPhone or any device through USB-C at 20 watts. It includes 4 USB-A, as well as 1 USB-C 10 gigabit port. For the best internet connection, it's got a 2.5 gigabit Ethernet port, headphone jack, and a micro USB and a USD card reader. That specific SD card reader is UHS-2, which is perfect for me as I use this type of card for my Sony cameras. One of the things that I like about this particular dock is that it connects to my laptop using only 1 USB-C port versus 2. So I have 1 USB-C port freed up on my MacBook. Now you can get this particular version for $299 US, but it's currently on sale for $199 US. Check that link out down below in the description after this video. Now, of course, of all the things to note about your MacBook, probably needed more memory storage on that device. But fortunately, we don't have to spend $200 to put it all internally, but instead For our next item, we got an SSD, or a solid state drive. And the one that I use is by Crucial, which is 2 terabytes, and it's just such a little device. If there's anything about SSDs you gotta know is that they're overall smaller than hard drives, and they transfer your files back and forth much faster, and they're also becoming more affordable. I use the X9 Crucial versions, and that is at $139.99 US from $148.99. Or if you want to save even some more money, there are the X6 versions for $107.99 from $145.99. Alternatively, you could get something like the Samsung T5s, T7s, T9s, or the SanDisk Extremes for 1 or 2 terabytes as well. I used to use the SanDisks, but I decided to go ahead and get more storage and landed with the Crucials. Alternatively, if you can't afford that, that's totally fine. There's also a 1 terabyte hard drive, which comes at a small size as well, for $64.99 by Western Digital. Not nearly as small as the SSDs and not as fast, but it's still a great one to start out with. Now, as small as SSDs and HDDs are, one of the things that you're still gonna have a problem with is just having them dangle off to the side. Now, if that's not a problem with you, that's totally cool, but you shouldn't knock off what this next item is gonna be. And that's gotta be a hard drive holder for your MacBook. Now you can go ahead and slap this adhesive right onto the back of your MacBook and just totally leave your hard drive or SSD connected and have it sitting there on your desk, or when you're ready you can just pack the whole thing into your backpack and just totally forget about it. These things are inexpensive for $15.99 US. Now, so far we nailed our accessories and our peripherals, but of all the things that we can't forget, especially in this digital age, is an external webcam. Now, the webcam in the M4 MacBooks are great, but just in case you want to go ahead and upgrade or use a different kind of camera setup, I personally use the DJI Pocket 3. Now that's coming at $519, and it's not just a webcam, as it's mostly a vlogging camera. But for those of you who already use it, it's already going to be great. You don't have to buy another separate camera, as it's got excellent 4K and 1080 image quality. It's going to be great if you're someone who likes to use a standing desk and you like to walk back and forth when you're doing your meetings, whether you're doing Zoom calls, Discord calls, Google Meet, oh yeah, and FaceTime. But if you want a webcam that you can set it and forget it, Logitech has their Brio 4K for $139.99 on sale from $199 US. Now, if you've got all these accessories covered, you probably don't have this one, and it's going to be the Stream Deck by Elgato. I have the Elgato Stream Deck XL, but I had recently upgraded from the Elgato Stream Deck Mark II. Now, if you're someone like me who doesn't even stream and want to be able to cut down the number of times you use your keyboard strokes, well, this product is going to be perfect. I like to particularly use mine with Notion and being able to string different things together for my pre-production scripts, as well as use it for things like Adobe Lightroom or Adobe Photoshop, and this is just perfect. The regular Stream Deck Mark II is $129 on sale, whereas the Stream Deck XL starts at $249.99 US. If you get any or all of these items, your MacBook will be much better of an experience overall. But what do you think? Is there something that I should have included on this list? And if so, let us know in the comments so that we can all benefit as a community. Thanks again for watching. Now go out there and shoot for the life that matters. See ya.